Hello everyone, Debbie here. Welcome back to Barossa Valley Crafts. Today I'm going to show you the eclipse technique. Now I have a Facebook group called Cardmaking for Beginners and Beyond. I will add the link in the description if you'd like to join. And so many people are talking about it and asking about it and how it all works and what have you. So I'm going to do in this tutorial the eclipse technique that will show you how to get the same result in two different ways. One is a lot easier than the other, but it will help. And then coming up soon, I will have another tutorial showing a different way to do an eclipse technique. So what I'm using today are dies from CraftAddictionUK. Now, I get mine from, in Australia, I get mine from Image plus Scrapbook Superstore. I will add the link in the description. These are amazingly priced. I think this square set was like $23 or something, and you get 4 dies. So, actually, you get 4 squares, but each square consists of several pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 6, you're actually getting 12 dies that will give you 3 different size squares. But these are awesome. Anyway, so we're going to be using the larger one today. Now, one tip I found when you first open these dies, I had a ruler and a black pen, and I have drawn a line so that I can reline them up once I've separated them, and then I want to use them together. So, because I need to start with this large square on its own to start with. So, to do what we're going to do, the first way we're doing it, you're going to have 2 pictures that are identical. So what I'm going to do is line those 2 pieces of paper up, and using my square, I will work out where I want to cut it, and that's going to give me the best picture for this one. So I would then put that through the die machine, and then that will give me 2 pieces of paper with the picture in identical places. So hopefully that all makes sense. Then we're going to line up our marks and put the die back together. I'll just line it up. Oh, I've got the tape on there to hold it together and it's getting in my way a bit. Okay, so we'll just line that back up so that they're nice and in line again. And I've just got some tape there to hold them back into place. Hang on, I've moved it. That's better. Okay, so once you've done that, then one piece only, just using one piece, we're going to lay that on your picture and put that through the die machine. Okay, I'll put that through so you can see how it will look. So I'll just put that down. Actually, I'll go further down this way. Oh, sorry, it's a bit hard to see. I'm off camera. So I'm just placing the die. Let me put it back here. I'm placing the die where I want to cut, because with this particular one, the main picture is in the bottom corner. So I'm going to place my die about there, and we will cut that out. So I always go back and forth. Hopefully I'll get it all the way then. Okay, I'll just pop that out of the way. Now, if you want to, you can, before you actually do this part here of cutting it out, you can put double-sided adhesive on there, or you can use glue when you're ready to put it together. That's a personal preference. Now I'm going to remove the die. Okay. Then we're going to remove all the strips of paper. Luckily, some of them came out when we were cutting it out, but remove all the strips of paper from the die. So I won't remove them all, it'll take a while, but you can see what I mean by, usually they just pop out and you can just rip them all out together anyway. So they're easy enough to come out. So that means you are then left with a picture that's got slats in it. Then, using the same die setup, the square, we're going to cut out 4 pieces of just white cardstock. And we're going to layer those together. So I have started doing it to save a bit of time. So I'm just using my Sweet Petunia precision glue press because it's a lot easier. It's got the nice fine tip on it. Now, as I said earlier, if you prefer, you can do all this cutting with double-sided adhesive on the back. It does use a lot of adhesive doing this. Now I'm just going to pop some dots just on each strip. I'm just doing them randomly. Just one in the centre of each will probably be enough anyway. Alright, I'll just pop this back on. So I don't want that to dry out. And then we're going to line up each piece so that they all line up perfectly, like so. Okay, and then, excuse me, got a little piece of excess paper there. I'll just remove that. Now we're going to attach the cutout picture to the top of the layered white cards. I'm just checking to see whether I actually cut it out with double-sided adhesive, and I haven't, so I'll just put that on here. Okay, and again, just popping some dots of glue. There we go, that should do it. And then we're going to layer our slotted or slatted picture on the top of those. So it's all lined up nice and even. There we go. Oh, I missed a bit of glue on this corner. I'll just pop a bit more here. That's got it. And on the bottom corner, I'll just turn that over and give it a good press. So that's how it will now look. It doesn't look much at the moment. Now, we're going to bring in our second picture. And again, we're going to now glue on the back of all the white layered parts. And again, just do some random dots on the back. Again, this is where it's probably handy if you're using double-sided adhesive. But in doing that, you need to make sure you're lining it up properly, because once it's on, it's on. Okay, so now we're going to line this up over that one and give it a press. And now you can see your picture taking shape underneath. Okay, so now we'll just finish it off to make it into a card. I'll just pop some glue on here. So place that onto the matte layer. And then put that onto our base card. Now, I haven't actually given measurements because it depends on what size you use as to what size card you will make. Just pop that on there. And then I've got a little bit of bling just to finish it off. Put a big one and a couple of smaller ones down here. Oh, the sticky didn't come off with that one. Let me grab another one. There we go. So that is one way to do this particular eclipse technique. Hopefully the camera's picking that up properly. The picture actually looks a lot better in real life. I can't see it very well through the camera. I'm just trying to line these up because in my rush I didn't actually add enough glue and they've moved around a little bit, so you need to add a bit more glue than I did. Anyway, there we go. So that's one way. Now the other way, if you've only got one picture, just say you wanted to do this, but you only had the one picture and you really wanted to do this technique, that's where this is a good way to do it. More time consuming, but it still works. So I've got lots of little bits and pieces here, so let me sort them out. So again, I'm using a CraftAddictionUK die on this one. This one is the hexagon one. Again, you've got 4 hexagons with 3, 6, 9, 12 dies. So that's the one we're using for this particular one. So like the other one, you cut out 4 of your white card to make the layers like we did in this, to give it the depth. Then with your piece of card, put it through the die machine and it will end up with all these bits and pieces. So what you need to do, now this one I recommend putting the double-sided adhesive on the back before you cut it out, but if not, you can still glue it. Now the next part is you need to remove all the little pictures in between, but make sure you line them up and keep them in order. So you go along and remove all of those. So just keep going until they're all done. But I'm not going to continue doing it all. Okay. So you will end up with all these little lined pieces that have been removed from the die cut. Then you layer all your white card like we did with the other one to give it some depth. And then I've cut out a piece of white cardstock, just using the frame itself, not with the slatted die in the middle, just using the, hang on, let me take this out. So just using this part, I have cut out a white piece of cardstock. And then I've attached all the layers together and put that onto my white cardstock. Then I have attached the cutout picture to the top. And then this is why you need to keep all your pieces in line. Now this one I've actually done with double-sided adhesive on the back. And as you can see, I've already started it, or we'd be here for hours. Then you remove your backing tape. Now, if you're gluing, I have found this glue gun is ideal because you can go down the bottom there and put a strip of glue on the bottom and then put your pieces in place. Let me see, I need to... So we're going to... Hopefully I've got this in shot. I'm going to... Now, because it's got the double-sided tape on it, makes it a little bit harder to place because it tends to stick where you don't want it to stick, whereas when you use the glue, it's a bit easier to do this part. Now I'm going to push that down into that slot. Like so. And then I'll do the same with the next piece. And this is, you continue to do this with all the pieces until you've got them into place. Okay, so this one will go in here. Make sure you push it right down. And now that will give you the same effect as that, just done in different ways. This is actually a more clearer picture, I think, than this one. I probably should have used a different picture that picks up better on the camera. And we'll just turn this one into a card. So I'll just pop some baking paper or matte layer onto the base card. Oops. Try and line it up as best you can. Oh, I'm not doing a very good job of this one, am I? Sometimes you just get them straight away, and other days it takes a bit harder. Anyway, that will do for now. And then attach your picture. Now, I've got to be honest, to do it this way, it will take you a lot longer. Just push that down. I can see there where I haven't pushed it down properly. Another one there. Yeah, got it. Yeah, doing this way takes a lot longer. But you still get the same effect as the other one. And we'll just add some bling onto that. Only because I like bling. I hope you're enjoying my tutorials. If you do, please do give me the thumbs up. And do subscribe if you'd like to be notified as more come to live to be viewed. And there's that one done. Maybe if I bring my light over a bit more. So that's done with one piece of card, and you're using the pieces that have been cut out and placing them back at a lower point. And this one is done with two pictures, of the same, and your die cut one is sitting over the top of the other one. And that's it. So I won't say very easy because they can be quite fiddly, and it also depends on what or how intricate the die is that you are using. But you don't have to do just slotted dies like this. You can do the same effect by, I did one, actually I will link another tutorial in I did some time ago where I used letters instead of slotted dies, just to show you another way you can do the same thing. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please do give me the thumbs up, and do be watching for my next tutorial doing the eclipse effect, but a different way again. Thank you for joining me, and see you all soon. Bye.